Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Messages from Venus. This is yet another deck review. This is the Marielle Tarot deck. You guys, this is one of those decks that I was very hesitant to obtain because of the cardstock, because I already know how Schiffer creates their decks. However, recently, in the recent maybe 2 to 3 years, I'm not quite sure, I've been out of the collecting game for a very long time because I've been focusing on other things that I need to focus in my life. I recently realized that this same deck has gilded gold sides on it and less thick cardstock, which is great. For those of you that can get your hands on that deck, then go ahead and do so. I am not going to repurchase the deck because of the way that it looks. I did that once and it wasn't a waste of money. However, I had to stop myself and ask myself, like, why are you overindulging on decks and obsessing over things that don't matter? You need to be focusing on other things. So this deck is the Marielle Tarot, and this is the back of the cards. It is very much trimmed, edged, corner rounded. It does not come like this. I made the deck like this. Now, this deck is absolutely beautiful in its own right. The deck is very much otherworldly. It was created by, the creator created the deck and the images of the deck while she was pregnant. So I know that her sense of creativity, her sense of knowledge was heightened to the point of no return. This deck is a Rider-Waite-Smith, but also has the Thoth system hidden within the images. So the cards, when you get them, they're going to have the names of the cards, which I did in like a goldish type of a color. So I put the Queen of Swords. However, it's going to have the names of the Rider-Waite-Smith system. But it's, if you study the deck, if you look at the book, you're going to see that it has a lot of Thoth energy in it. Again, a different perspective, giving you the same energy with a different perspective. This deck is not for everyone. It is not, I repeat, it is not for everyone. Even if you start off with your intuition, even if you start off thinking like, okay, I can read these images, I can give the people what they're asking for, I can give a reading with these images, I suggest everyone to refrain, read the book. Of course, if you want to obtain the deck and you want to have it in your collection, you can rightfully so obtain the deck, have it in your collection, but study it. It's a deck to be studied, okay? Because it has a lot of symbolism. Every color, every card has its own symbolism that is totally and completely explained in the guidebook. Again, if you do not like nudity, this is not a deck for you. But I feel like this deck is one of those decks that need studying, need understanding before you can use it. Even if you want to use it as your main card, your main deck, etc., it doesn't matter. It's a deck that needs respect, which I feel like it's a lot of the reason why a lot of people refrain from it. Because there's a lot of learning involved. It's not like you just pick up a Rider-Waite-Smith deck and then just start reading with it. No, it takes a lot of studying. The images are not contemporary at all. Look, this is the Three of Pentacles, or the Three of Discs. That has to be like the prettiest Queen of Cups I've ever seen in a deck. I feel like the creator of this deck was very bold, because a lot of decks that people don't understand get thrown under the waters. But this deck, for me, was very successful, especially because a lot of the tarot reader communities, a lot of the communities that the deck collectors on here on YouTube that have Facebook groups, etc., they made this deck more relevant than it was. I feel because it's intriguing. A lot of people get scared by it, but it's something that has to be. This deck literally rocked the tarot community, in my opinion, because it made everybody understand that, one, there are decks that aren't simple, that aren't always going to be beautiful, that are not always going to be the artwork that you decide or that you want or that you would like to see all the time. This person took a bold approach to not just her artwork, but two systems, and put them together. And it's very difficult to do it if you are not a master of the Thoth, the Book of Thoth, and also if you're not a master of reading the tarot, of reading the Rider-Waite-Smith. What else can I say about this deck? I don't know. It made headlines everywhere. It's a breakthrough for everyone in our community. If you don't have this deck, please get yourself a copy of this deck. If you would like to study and understand that this deck is a deck to study, and that it takes ages for you to completely understand not just the Rider-Waite-Smith system, because it's different systems in one. Like the Rider-Waite-Smith has the Rider-Waite-Smith system, it also has astrology in it, and also has the elements, so you have to really study it. But I feel like this deck takes it like 2 steps a notch, because you will be absolutely obsessed with the artwork, which is the reason why I trimmed the deck, so that the artwork can pop out more. I feel like the black borders that it had just took away from the deck, and the beauty of the deck, and the essence of the maturity of the deck. It's a very mature deck. So for you young readers that are looking at my review, that are listening to my review, if you want this deck in your collection, go ahead and do so, but be ready and prepared to study. Because you might see all pretty colors and oh, it's so pretty, and oh, I'll get the images, and once you get the deck and you put your hands on the deck, it's gonna be difficult for you. Because I'll tell you this, it took me about a good 3 to 4 months to be able to even start trimming and organizing the deck so that I can then study the deck. It took a very long time for me. Maybe you'll have a different experience, but my experience was totally and completely different. Look, this is the 7 of Swords. I would have chosen this card as the Death card, but I can see the 7 of Swords. I understand. But this is a beautiful, oh my God, it's just stunning. Because it takes like different colors. It takes different, it takes the different frequencies and vibrations of what esoteric is and what it means. And it just gives it to you, honey. It gives it to you. Okay, so again, this deck is very difficult to shuffle due to the cardstock that Schiffer refuses to let go of until people started talking about this deck. And so they redid their cardstock and did what they had to do in regards to this deck. But it's very difficult to shuffle, okay? This is one of those decks that will hurt your hands and your fingers when you're shuffling. But other than that, that's the only complaint I have about this deck. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed my review, and I will see you guys in the next reading. Bye, or the next video.